Welcome into Dallas Mavericks. Today, I am your host, Harrison Graham, and the Mavs are now in sole possession of fourth place in the Western Conference. This comes off a huge win on Sunday night after Dallas was able to take down Utah 114 to 110. A huge win for Dallas. Luka Doncic, 32, 10, and 5. Reggie Bullock had his best game in a while, and this was monumental because both these teams were tied for that 4-5 seeding there, but Utah had the tiebreaker. Now Dallas moves a game ahead of them, and like I said, has sole possession, and they'll have to finish a game ahead of Utah to get the higher seed because the Jazz would have the tiebreaker. Now, should be fair and mention that Utah did not have two of their key bigs, Rudy Gobert, obviously their main guy, then also Haasan Whiteside, so Dallas was able to match up a little bit better on the boards and in the interior. But hey, not the Mavs' fault that Utah was without a couple of their key guys. Dallas won because Luka Doncic made big plays in key moments. Hit that step-back three at the end of the half. I thought that gave Dallas big momentum to cut deficit to just 1 point after being down for most of the first half. And then in the second half, he made some critical plays as well as Dallas was able to outscore the Jazz by 15 points in the final 24 minutes. Now, you look at these standings all of a sudden. You move ahead of Utah, but you also move closer to Golden State. You're only 2 games back with 7 games to go. You're not catching Phoenix or Memphis, but that 3 seed could be caught. 6 and 7, Denver and Minnesota in the mix as well. But I think where the Mavs sit now, you're not going to get caught by Minnesota, so you're going to avoid that play-in tournament, which is obviously important because you don't want to have to win a bonus game to secure a playoff spot. Now, this is an interesting point by @HP Basketball here, and I think I agree with it. There's a really legit path for the Mavs to make the Western Conference Finals now. Overtake the Warriors for third, get Denver, Minnesota in that 3-6 game matchup in the first round, and then Memphis, who they match up extremely well with in the 2-3, which would be a second-round series. So say Dallas faces Denver in the 3-6 matchup, you beat them, the Grizzlies win their first matchup, you get to play them in the second round. You could beat the Grizzlies in a best-of-7. I think it's possible. All things Mavs, our good pal Jimmy Crowther broke down the final 7 games of the teams seeded 3 through 6. We'll kind of sprint through it here. Dallas has the Lakers at home. 4-game road trip at Cleveland, at Washington, at Milwaukee, at Detroit before finishing Portland and Sacramento. Sure, 4 straight road games, but only 2 games with opponents over 500. Utah at the Clippers. Lakers at home, at Golden State, Memphis, OKC, Phoenix, at Portland. 4 games above 500, so pretty good odds that you'll finish ahead of them, at least for that 4 seed. But then you look at the Warriors trying to catch them. Look at their next 3 games. At Memphis, Phoenix at home, Utah at home. Those are all losable. At Sacramento, that could be a pressure game. Lakers at home, if LeBron's healthy, he's at least going to bring it. At the Spurs, at the Pelicans, 3 opponents over 500. And then Denver, who I don't think is a huge factor at this point for the 3 or 4 seed, but at Charlotte, at Indiana, Minnesota at home, at the Lakers, Sacramento, Memphis, and LA at home, 3 opponents over 500. The point being, though, you're in a good spot to finish ahead of Utah now, and the 3 seed can be gotten. If you, let's say the Mavs go 5-2 the rest of the way, the Warriors could go 3-4. That's possible. And then they would jump up to that 3 seed. So it is very much a possibility that Dallas could get the 3 seed, which would be huge for obvious reasons. Easier opponent for Dallas in the first round, though. Type UTA for the Utah Jazz. Type DEN for the Denver Nuggets. Let us know in the comments who would be the easier opponent for the Mavs in round 1. Now, the big key is if you get that 3 seed, you get to avoid Phoenix in the second round, and that would obviously be awesome because I think the Suns are the best team in the NBA, and let's be honest, they've given the Mavs fits for years now, including this year. So if you can avoid them until the conference finals, that would be awesome. And hell, maybe you get lucky and a team like the Warriors beat them in the second round. Be sure you guys subscribe to the channel. More Dallas Mavericks news, rumors, updates, playoff picture alerts, as well as there's only 7 games left in the regular season. Then it's playoff time, baby, and that'll be a lot of fun. Might cook up some watch parties for you guys as well. YouTube.com/MavsTV. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel today. Okay, you look at the Mavs playoff picture. Let's say they face the Jazz. Series tied at 2 now. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, they're the guys that make Utah go. Obviously, the last time these two met in a series, the Mavs won in a best-of-5, back when they used to play best-of-5s early in the playoffs. Mavs were able to win that thing back in 2001. That's a long time ago for these two teams to meet up in a playoff series. And by the way, home court's critical if these teams play each other because the Mavs won both their games at home, Jazz won both their games at home. These have been some hard-nosed games this year, and I would expect nothing less in the playoffs. We know Utah brings it defensively. Donovan Mitchell's a tough matchup. Rudy Gobert has given this team problems. Luka's going to bring it. This would be a series I think that would go 6 or 7. I really think so. I think they're pretty evenly matched. Quite frankly, I'd rather face Denver. I know Nikola Jokic is a very tough matchup, but if it were up to me, I would face Denver. We'll explore that in a minute. But good news is you have Luka Doncic, who in 3 games he's played against the Jazz this year, he's averaging 30, 11, and 8 and shooting the lights out of it from three-point range. And recent history suggests he would shoot it well in the playoffs. Now, against Denver, he actually has not played as well. So that kind of goes against what I'm saying, that I'd rather play the Nuggets. But I just think that in general, Denver isn't quite as good as Utah. Maybe I'd be proven wrong. 27-10, but only 23.5% from three-point range. Small sample size. I would expect Luka to put up bigger numbers in the playoffs, but take those numbers for what they're worth as we approach the final stretch run here. Would the Mavs beat the Jazz in a playoff series? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. It'd be tough, man. I think getting home court advantage would be critical in doing so, but let me know. Do you think they would beat Utah in a playoff series? Now, we got some Luka Doncic t-shirts for you guys that are on sale at chatsports.com/LukaT. Got the logo on the front. You got the name and the number on the back. Go check that out today, chatsports.com/LukaT. Link is in the comments and in the description of this video. All right, let's talk about the Jazz a little bit more. Mavs won the Nuggets a little bit more, excuse me. Mavs won the regular season series 2-1. Obviously, you got Jokic. Aaron Gordon doesn't look like Jamal Murray's coming back. Michael Porter Jr. we'll see. Last time these two teams met in a series was in 2010. Nuggets won that thing 4-1. I believe that was the second round series the year before the Mavs were able to put it all together and win an NBA championship. But I just think, I know Jokic is a challenge, but if Murray's not coming back, which I don't think he is, I'll take my chances with Denver. I don't think they're that good defensively. I think that the Mavs can match up with them, even though Luka hasn't played as well against them. I just think they stack up a little bit better against Denver. And you could say, yeah, well, you know, they can't guard Jokic. Well, no one can guard Jokic. That's just how that goes. Luka, he'll go off against these guys. I know the numbers have said he hadn't played as well against them this year. Aaron Gordon can't guard Luka Doncic. We all know that. I think that Luka would raise his level of play against these guys, and the Mavs would beat the Nuggets in probably 6 games. I just think that's what would happen. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd rather take my chances with them in a playoff series. Now, again, you know, slowing down Jokic isn't going to be easy, but you know, you can trap him, show him different looks. You know, is Monte Morris going to beat this team? Aaron Gordon? I don't know. I think that I just think the Jazz have a little bit more punch than the Nuggets do offensively, even though the Nuggets have the best player out of the two teams in Nikola Jokic. So we'll see. Looks like they'll play one of these two teams. Hey, maybe the Mavs will get lucky and the Timberwolves will get the 6th seed. Who knows? Who you got in a series? Type Mavs, type Nugs. Who you got if they play in the best of 7? I would take Dallas in 6, especially if Jamal Murray does not come back. But weigh in for us and get your thoughts in and your votes down in the comments section. All right, MFFLs, it's the final push for the playoffs. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you love the Mavs, we are the channel for you. So hit that big red button and subscribe today. More videos throughout the week leading up to the NBA playoffs. If you're a real one, go ahead and subscribe. And you can follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL, at HGramNFL. Always spitting my Mavs takes over there as well.